Welcome to the Deep Dive. We've got this San Diego Real Estate Market Update 2025 April document in front of us, focusing on the March data. And, well, you're here because you want to get a handle on what's really happening in San Diego real estate, right?
Exactly. Our mission, really, is to sift through all this data, the numbers, the trends, and pull out what actually matters for buyers and sellers today.
We'll be hitting on the big things. Median sale price, how many homes sold, new listings, how fast things are moving, the whole picture.
Right. We want to go, beyond just listing stats and actually get a feel for the market's pulse. This report is pretty detailed, so we'll cover median price, closed sales, new listings, days on market, all those key indicators.
Okay, let's dive in. So this update we're looking at, it starts off saying the San Diego market is heading into spring with clear momentum. It also mentions signs of resilience and seasonal momentum. Sounds pretty positive.
It does. That framing is important, I think. It tells us the market isn't just sitting there, it's got energy. We're seeing that typical spring pickup in activity.
So let's get down to the numbers, starting with price. The median sale price for a single-family home in San Diego County, March 2025, hit $1,070,000. That's a big number.
It is, and what's telling is the trend. It's up 3.1% from this time last year, and just from February to March, it climbed 1.7%. So prices are definitely still heading upwards.
And sellers seem to be getting what they ask for. The report says they got 100% of their list price month over month.
Yeah, that's a strong indicator. It means asking prices are pretty much matching what buyers are willing to pay right now, though there's a little nuance there.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, that 100% figure is actually down 1.0% compared to last year. Still very strong, obviously, but maybe a tiny hint that buyers have slightly more negotiating room than they did a year ago. Just a slight shift.
Interesting point. Okay, what about price per square foot? Came in at $606. Now, that's up 2.2% year over year. But it actually dipped just slightly, 0.7% from February to March. That seems a bit odd, doesn't it? Prices are up overall, but down per square foot month over month.
Yeah, it's an interesting divergence. The overall median price went up month over month, but the value per square foot ticked down. What could be happening? Well, maybe the mix of homes sold in March was different.
Like maybe more larger homes sold.
Exactly. Larger homes sometimes have a lower price per square foot compared to smaller, maybe more centrally located ones. If that's the case, and if it continues, it might suggest buyers are prioritizing space, or maybe different segments of the market are appreciating at slightly different rates. Something to watch.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Okay, let's shift to actual sales activity. How many homes are trading hands? Closed sales were 1,266 in March. Now, that's down 6.8% compared to March last year.
And that might make you pause. Fewer sales than a year ago.
But
look at the month-over-month change. From February to March, closed sales jumped significantly, up 13.7%.
Okay, so year over year is down, but the recent trend, month to month, shows a big pickup in buyers actually closing deals.
Precisely. The year-over-year might reflect older dynamics, but that recent surge points to renewed buyer energy as we entered spring.
Got it. Okay, so what about options for these buyers? Inventory. Let's look at new listings first. They were up 7.0% year over year and up 10.4% month over month.
Yeah.
That's 2,023 new homes on the market in March. Sounds like good news for buyers, right? More choice.
Absolutely. More new listings mean more opportunities if you're looking. It suggests sellers are feeling more confident about listing, which helps the market flow better.
This is where it gets tricky, right? The total number of homes for sale, the active inventory, that actually went down 14.0% year over year and down a pretty big 17.0% just from February to March. Only 3,238 active listings.
Yes.
So how does that square? More homes listed, but fewer available overall.
This is really the key dynamic, I think. Active inventory falling sharply, even with more new listings coming on, tells you one thing very clearly. Demand is strong. Homes are getting snapped up quickly.
So the new supply is being absorbed almost as fast as it appears.
You got it. Think of it like water flowing into a tub. The faucet's turned up a bit, new listings, but the drain is also very efficient, sales, so the water level active inventory is actually dropping.
Okay, that makes sense. And that speed is reflected in the days on market.
It is. Median days on market was 16 days.
16 days, so just over 2 weeks.
Right. Now that is up 33.3% compared to last year and up 6.7% from last month.
So things are taking a little longer to sell than maybe the absolute peak frenzy, but still very fast by historical standards.
Exactly. 16 days is quick. It suggests buyers might have a tiny bit more breathing room than last year, perhaps, but you still need to be ready to move on desirable properties. They aren't sitting around.
And the last piece of the inventory puzzle. months of supply. It's sitting at just 3 over months.
And that's down too, down 11.8% year over year and down 16.7% month over month.
Okay, for someone maybe not deep in real estate jargon, what does 3 months of inventory signify?
It basically means if no new homes were listed starting today, it would take about 3 months to sell everything currently on the market, given the current pace of sales.
And a balanced market is usually what, 5 or 6 months?
Typically, yeah, around 5 to 6 months is considered balanced. So 3.0 is clearly indicating a seller's market. Not enough homes to meet the demand from buyers. Sellers still have the advantage. And the fact it decreased again month over month just reinforces that tight supply situation.
Okay, let's crystallize this. If you're out there looking to buy in San Diego, what's the takeaway? You're seeing more new listings, which is good, more choice.
Right, more options popping up.
But sales are also up recently, and overall inventory is low and shrinking. So expect competition, especially for the good stuff.
Definitely expect competition and be prepared to act relatively quickly. 16 days isn't long. Things are moving.
Okay, now flip side. If you're thinking of selling, sounds like a pretty good time.
It looks very favorable for sellers, yes.
Yeah.
You're likely getting your asking price or very close to it.
And even though more competition is hitting the market in terms of new listings,
The overall pool of available homes is still limited because demand is soaking them up. So your listing still stands out. The pricing trends are strong in your favor. Sales are happening quickly. It's still a great environment to list your home.
the update also touches on, the why behind San Diego's appeal. It calls it not just a housing market, it's a lifestyle destination.
Which is so true, isn't it? It talks about the different areas, La Jolla, Pacific Beach for the coast, North Park, South Park for that urban feel, places like Scripps Ranch or East Lake out in the suburbs. There's something for everyone.
Yeah, and the lifestyle stuff.
Yeah.
Surfing, hiking mission trails, grabbing dinner in Little Italy, catching a Padres game.
All of that. The amazing weather year-round, the vibrant neighborhoods, the outdoor activities. These aren't just bullet points, they're fundamental drivers of demand. People want to live here, and that consistently fuels the housing market, regardless of temporary fluctuations.
Good point. It connects the dots between the lifestyle and the sustained demand. Now, the report does mention navigating this requires more than data. It talks about needing local experience, proven strategies, and trusted relationships. And it specifically highlights Don Lewis and the Lewis team at Real Broker. Mentions Don's, over 35 years of experience? Thousands of deals done.
Yeah, it points to the value of that deep local knowledge, understanding specific neighborhoods, having negotiation skills honed over decades, knowing the right marketing. That kind of expertise is crucial in a market like this.
The report emphasizes their personalized service and market knowledge, essentially saying local pros make a difference.
Which makes sense. The broad data gives us the landscape, but an experienced local guide can help you navigate the specific path, whether buying or selling.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up for everyone listening. This deep dive into the March 2025 San Diego single-family data shows a market with definitely increased buyer activity. We see that in the monthly sales jump.
Right, and more sellers are listing their homes too.
But the key takeaway seems to be that overall inventory is still tight, still shrinking month over month.
Which leads to those quick sales, 16 days on average, and keeps prices strong for sellers who are getting basically their full asking price.
So for buyers, more choices appearing, but you've got competition and need to be ready. For sellers, it's still a very strong market to be in.
Exactly. It's a dynamic situation, opportunities and challenges on both sides. Staying informed on these trends is really key.
And that brings us to a final thought. The report mentioned that clear momentum heading into spring. We also saw that slight uptick in days on market compared to last year, still fast, but a bit slower. So it makes you wonder, as we move further into 2025, could these be early signs of other shifts? Will that slight increase in selling time continue, or was it just a blip? What's the next turn for the San Diego market?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Something to keep watching closely.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.